Hello viewers and welcome to another Jar of Spanners infomercial. Now I'm here today to talk to you about a certain kind of tool. Now we know that in the natural world some animals can indeed use tools such as birds or apes or even Chelsea supporters. But it's man's development of tools throughout the millennia that has marked him apart from the animal kingdom. Now, in prehistoric times, man would use a tool such as this. This is, of course, called a hammer. And that is indeed the subject of today's discussion, the hammer. Now, ancient man would use a hammer such as this, but it was, of course, rather dull and lacking in finesse. And even though it was used for many thousands of years, they eventually realised you couldn't do much with it apart from hurt people. In fact, England fans have clearly been using this hammer right up until the modern era to hurt people. Because in many ways, hammers are quite evil tools, and we at Jar of Spanners have a natural animosity towards them. Now, during the very, very ancient period of history, men developed a hammer such as this. Now, this is known as the bastard, and indeed people would hit each other with it very hard, and of course they were bastards. You can see from its short handle and its very heavy head, it's very good at doing damage to people, and subsequently it was very evil. Now, talking of evil, the Vikings were especially bastardish, and because of their worship of the god Thor, they developed a hammer that was suitably bastardish for their needs. You can see that it has this point here known as Thor's turbulent tooth, and this could be used for particularly fine damaging work, taking out a molar or an eye or a toe, and for that reason this design has remained with us until modern times, as it just can't be beaten for being bastardish. Here we have a particularly bastardish example of a Viking hammer. Now, as we move on through history, we come to the pre-industrial era, when a hammer such as this one was used. This is from Georgian times and is known as the goofy because of this strange appearance of this part at the front, which does look like two front teeth. And in fact, Georgians took this as a hint and did indeed use a hammer such as this for dentistry. Subsequently, in Georgian times, if you were to visit the dentist, you would be greeted with a hammer such as the goofy, and you would leave particularly goofy. Yes, you can imagine. It can do a lot of damage to the two front teeth. So let's move on. With the advent of rubber in the pre-war era, hammers such as this began to appear. Now, this is known as the Trevor. This can be used remarkably for all kinds of blunt, damaging blows to the head. But as you can see, it's not much good for that fine work, such as taking out a specific tooth or a kneecap or even a toe. And so, even though the Trevor is a remarkable tool, it's not exactly what we need in today's modern era. In fact, it's not what we need at all. Which brings me on to the modern hammer. Here we are. It's lightweight, it's tough, it's durable, and it's utterly evil. You can do incredible damage to people with one of these, and of course people continue to do that to this day. The rubberized handle taking a tip from the Trevor, and the goofy type appearance at the front harking back to Georgian period dentistry. Now, we at Jar of Spanners accept that this is quite a good tool, but it is also bloody evil. So, we decided to introduce the Gruntlestone 2000. And here it is. Now, I think you'll agree this is a particularly fine example of hammer technology. It has no goofy teeth, it has no rubber apart from on the handle, and it's especially good at knocking in screws or bolts or even wall plugs. And if you want your DIY to be done with a certain finesse, just consider the Gruntle 2002. It's a remarkable tool, and it's also utterly evil. I think you'll agree. Bloody hell.